Please talk a little bit about you working on your defense and trying to become a team defender. How is that something that you practice, like specifically team defense and that kind of stuff? How do you work on that when you're not actually in a game situation?
Just like positioning. It's hard to do it like a team defense. So we usually use like two, maybe sometimes we can use like three coaches. So we put it in different positions and just do like the movements we gotta do. Like if the guy attacks baseline or he attacks from the middle, or if there's like a pick and roll on the side. So kind of yeah, kind of recreate the plays from the game that happens a lot, and then try to learn from that.
Well, different styles of teams. Teams that play fast, really explosive offensively. So we'll have to, defend a lot better than we had against Dallas. But I think it's starts with the Lakers. That's our first game. We'll worry about that one. But hopefully we can play really, really well on both sides. Like I said, I think we've made some good progress offensively. I think we've gotten better. There's been more of a rhythm and a flow, but we can't have slippage on the defense, because that's an area we've been really, really strong at all year. I wouldn't say energy level as much as just a consistency. We've got to be more consistent for whatever the reason is of a lack of consistency. But like a huge shot in the game against Dallas was Dennis Smith banks that shot in. But like that happens when you let luck come into play. When you let luck come into play, and there was plenty of opportunities we had to get some stops and do a better job defensively. I think for us it really comes down to the consistency level, really on both ends. And when we have breakdowns, there's a lack of communication or coverages aren't good. It makes for a long night. And I think we've got to continually work to get to a point where there's a heightened level of awareness on every possession, and not be, okay, well, we'll get this next one, we'll get the next one. We've got to really concentrate, focus on doing that. I think our effort's there. I think our intention is there. I think the unselfishness is there. But I think the execution's got to be a lot better and a lot higher level.
Do you have an update on Andre?
He's going to be out for the next 3 games. He's not going to play at all during this road trip.
Is he going on the trip with
Yes.
you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Is what's going on with him? What's like
just his knees sore. I think based on where he's at, they feel like the medical staff feels like these next 4 days, 5 days, whatever this trip is, that he probably needs to rest. So I'll just wait for more updates from there. But at least for these next 3 games, he'll be out. I would say, from a coaching perspective, he's as good as anybody I've ever been around ever seen. There's a lot of great defenders in this league. I think he's certainly right up there with the best of them, if not the best. I'm biased. I work with him every day. I know his commitment. I see what he does on film. I study it. I watch it. I see the impact he makes. I see things that are not and don't go in the stat sheet that he does that are really, really impactful. Like there's no stat at the end of the game of how many pick and rolls this guy was in and how many screens he actually got over with being able to get Steven Adams out of coverage so he can get back to his man on a roll, or how many times he's running along the baseline, he's chasing shooters off screens. Like, that's the thing I think sometimes with the game. There's certain stats that I think are beneficial and they make sense, but a lot of times so much of the game's not about the stats, because some of the stats stuff you can't quantify how valuable it is what he does.